I have 6 helpful and useful tips to improve your typography. Typography can make or break a design, so ensure that you don't break your designs with my 6 useful tips. As designers, it's important to have a website to show off our portfolio of work. Bookmark offers the most straightforward and quickest way to generate an awesome website without even having to write down a single line of code, and all completed in a matter of minutes. Check out the link in the description below to learn more about Bookmark and design your website today. Now, I've made various different typography tips videos in the past, so I've linked some of those down in the description box below, which you can check out after today's upload. The first tip out of 6 tips today, which will help you improve your typography, is to consider what conversation you want to have with the typography that you're using. The style of the font or the typeface that you're going to use in your design will communicate a lot with the visual style, and that's not just with the words being used. So think about your design and the context that you're going to use. For example, the heading on this poster is modern and sleek, matching a kind of dance music festival poster design. This is a crucial tip when using typography, and its importance cannot be emphasized enough. So as you can see here, the font change is way too formal and serious, which doesn't fit the context of an electronic dance music festival. So always consider the context and what kind of conversation you want your font to be having with the audience. The style of the lettering is really going to communicate with whomever sees it, subconsciously and consciously speaking to the viewer. Tip number 2 to improve your typography is to consider using a mix of bold and light fonts on your designs. You might have noticed that I use this quite often, and it does look really neat when used in the right way. It's especially useful for headings and large captions of typography. So yeah, just experiment with bold and light lettering, and it's a good idea to use the same font family, but with just a bold and a light version of that font. You can really make some neat and flash headings using this style. The third tip that I have for you today is handy to remember if you're struggling to decide how to align your text. There is a general rule that when in doubt, just align your text to the left hand side. You can do this in Illustrator really easily by using the align function, as you can see here. In Western cultures, we read from the left hand side to the right, so aligning things in the left just makes sense. There are some exceptions of course, and your design might look better when aligned to the right, but it's always a safe bet to align to the left if you're in any kind of doubt. So as you can see here on my poster, it is possible to even align headings of a design to the left hand side. And of course, main body of text should always be aligned to the left, or at least most of the time, such as on a magazine for example. And like I said, there will be exceptions, but just to play it safe, align to the left. The next image that you will see is actually aligned to the right, however. Tip number 4 on how to improve your typography is one that many people get wrong, and that is not to use too many fonts. For people beginning in typography, it's a pretty safe bet just to stick to one font for your design. And if you want to use a second font, maybe just use a thinner or a bolder version of that existing font. That is until you've gained more knowledge of font combinations and how to use up to 2 or 3 fonts. But yeah, the golden rule here is to stick to 2 fonts, 3 at a maximum. I think you can all agree that the poster design that you can see on screen now doesn't look visually appealing at all. And that's obviously because there are just too many fonts on it. So don't overcrowd your design and confuse the viewer of too many different fonts. The 5th tip in today's video on how to improve your typography is to have a layout in mind before you make the design. Using grids and guides is essential for really improving your typography, but try to have a kind of set alignment system for your design in mind. This helps keep everything visually appealing, and it just makes your designs neat and professional. So as you can see here, I've got a central alignment on my design, keeping certain aspects of the design in line and in line with guides. Having a grid system creates visual harmony and I highly recommend giving some thought to the grid system that you're going to use for your design. It can really help tie everything together on your design. And of course, with something like a magazine layout, this is super essential to keep design elements together in columns. The last tip in today's video on how to improve your typography is actually a list of resources. One of those resources you can see on screen now, and that is a collection of designs entirely based around typography. If you absorb quality typography design and typography art on a regular basis, you're going to gain a better understanding and a better eye for typography. So I highly suggest you take a look at the links in the description box below, because there are some games, some resources, and other cool things all related to typography. So that was today's video, and if you do want to check out more typography based videos on my channel, also check the links down in the description box below. And remember, if you want to improve your skills as a graphic designer, subscribe to Satori Graphics for weekly graphic design content. And if you want to help out my channel, share my content on social media so other people can see it too. Until next time guys, design your future today. Peace.